Calculating the mean from a frequency distribution. Mean from a frequency distribution. First, multiply each frequency and class midpoint, then add the products. This is our formula. The mean is equal to the summation, remember that is adding everything together, of each frequency times the class midpoint, that's the class midpoint, and I'll remind you in a minute how to find that, and then dividing it by the sum of all the frequencies, which is going to give us an approximation of the mean. Here's an example. Use the frequency distribution in the first two columns to find the mean. In the table that's shown, this is my frequency distribution. And it should look familiar. It's the same one that we used in Chapter 2. This is our formula for a frequency distribution. I need to find the numerator, which is the sum of each frequency times the class midpoint divided by the sum of the frequencies. The sum of the frequencies is pretty easy to find. You simply add the column of counts in order to find the total. And then the class midpoint, remember the class midpoint is the halfway between the upper and lower data values or the upper lower limits of a class. So if I'm looking for the class midpoint of the upper and lower class limits for the first class, I'll find that 75 plus 124 is equal to 199 divided by 2 is 99.5, which is my class midpoint. I find the other class midpoints in a similar manner. Then I take the class midpoint times its frequency, and that's going to give me the frequency times the class midpoint in the last column. Adding those together is going to be the numerator in my formula. So to find the mean from a frequency distribution, using my formula and a table to organize my information, I find that 8,025 divided by 50 is going to give me 160.5 seconds. That is the mean. It's an approximation of the number of seconds of wait time, I think, was what this table of information was representing, was the wait times in a drive-through service. Calculating a weighted mean. A weighted mean is very similar. If you look at the formula, x bar is equal to the summation, so the sum of the product of the weight times each one of the x values divided by the sum of the weights. Let's look at an example. In her first semester of college, a student of the author took 5 courses. Her final grades, along with the number of credits for each course, were A for a 3-credit course, A for a 4-credit course, B for a 3-credit course, C for a 3-credit course, and F for a 1-credit course. The grading system assigns quality points to letter grades. An A is 4, a B is 3, a C is 2, a D is 1, and an F is 0. We want to compute her grade point average. We use the number of credits as weights. So the number of credits for each of the classes she took, 3, 4, 3, 3, 1, are our weights. We replace the letter grades of A, B, C, F with the corresponding quality points 4, 4, 3, 2, 0. Our formula then is going to be x bar, the mean, so that's going to give us her calculated grade point average, is the summation of the weights times the x divided by the sum of the weights. This was the weight, which was a 3-credit class. She made an A, so 3 times the 4 quality points. This was a 4-credit class. She made an A, so 4 times 4. This was 3 credits. She made a B, 3 credits. She made a C, and then 1 credit she did not pass. Multiply the numerator, add the numbers together once you find those products. And so multiply the numbers in the numerator, add them together based on the symbols that you see, and then find the sum in the denominator, divide the numerator by the denominator, and you end up with 3.07. The result is a first semester grade point average of 3.07. In using the preceding round-off rule, the result should be rounded to 3.1, but it is common to round grade point averages to 2 decimal places. So we go against our standard round-off rule that we're using just based on general practice. So let's actually have you calculate your course average or your course grade, using the word average. Calculating your course grade. Your course grade in this class is based on a set of homework assignments that counts as 10%, the mean of 5 tests that counts as 65% of your grade, the mean of assigned quizzes including discussions that counts as 10% of your grade, and a final exam that counts as 15% of your grade. Assume you end the semester with a mean homework grade of 85%, a quiz mean of 82%, a test mean of 80%, and a final exam grade of 78%. What will be your overall final score? What letter grade will you have earned? A, B, C, D, or F? So first let's take the question, what will be your overall final score? Well, in your syllabus there is this formula, and I do have the word average instead of grade, which should be changed to grade. Assume you end the semester with a mean homework grade of 85%. So there's my mean homework grade. I'm just going to plug this into our formula. So the mean homework grade is 85%, and then that's times 0.10 plus your quiz mean grade. So the quiz mean of 82%, and that's times 0.10 plus your test mean grade of 80% times the weight, which is 0.65, plus your final exam grade of 78%, which is weighted at 15% of your grade, is going to be your overall grade. Calculating that, find my calculator. I'm going to take 85 times 0.10 plus 82 times 0.10 plus 80 times, let me move it over a little bit, 0.65 plus 78 times 0.15, and that's going to give me a numerical grade of 80.4. So the numerical grade based on those grades in the categories, the weighted categories, is 80.4. Here's the grading scale for the class. So my numerical grade is 80.4, which means that I would earn a B in the class.